They're like, I'm gonna hide in the bag.
She'll be in there.
She already went.
Doesn't mean I won't pee.
Girl. How old is she? She's 3 months. Yeah. Can you sit? Yes. Down? Yes. Stand? Yes. Good. Good job. Can you sit? Yes. Down? Yes. Stand? Yes. Good job. All done. Mia, leave it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, take it. Good girl. Mia, watch me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, good girl. Good job. All done. Good girl. Mia, ring the bell. Yes, good job. Mia, go kennel. Yes, good girl. Mia, stay. Yes. Stay. Yes. Stay. Yes. Stay. Yes. Stay. All done. Mia, stay. Yes, good girl. All done. Good job. Mia, sit. Stay. Yes, good girl. Stay. Yes, good girl. Stay. Yes, good girl. Mia, stay. Yes, good girl. Mia, stay. Yes, good girl. Good job. All done. Good
we're going to show you how Mia does for our off-leash hikes. Ready, Mia? Let's go. Good girl. So I always start out with a high rate of reinforcement, rewarding them every time they check in. As we get success and we see that they're checking in here and there, we can start to lower that rate of reinforcement. The idea is we want to find the sweet spot between rewarding enough so that they will check in here and there, but not so much that they don't leave my side. So I'm going to start to switch it up with affection and praise sometimes. Good girl, go play. And then other times give a treat because I want her to go off and sniff and explore here and there. Now the reason I've got to make sure to maintain behavior with affection and praise sometimes is because if I start to just go from giving lots of treats and then cut off the treats and don't give any kind of reinforcement at all, the dog's going to give up on the behavior. So that's what I tell you to do on purpose for things like jumping up, barking at you for attention, behaviors that we don't like. If we walk away or ignore those kinds of behaviors, the dog is likely to give up on those behaviors because they're learning it doesn't work to get anything. On the same note though, if we start to stop giving treats for those chickens just because we don't want to give a treat every time, we might start to lose that behavior, and that's not what we want to see happen. We want to maintain it enough with a variable rate of reinforcement and switching it up with affection and praise and other reinforcement to let her know that we do still like that behavior. Good girl. Okay, go play. Out here, I'm mostly just using kibble for Mia because we've practiced a lot in this environment and we've already built up a lot of reinforcement history for checking in and doing good leave-its and good recalls. I don't have to use a lot of high-value stuff. But anytime you go somewhere new where there's more exciting sights and smells and distractions and it's harder for them to make the choice to choose you over the environment, you're going to need to pay her better. So you're going to need to give better treats. So things like chicken, hot dog, cheese, chopped up steak. The idea is you want your best value treat to trump anything she's going to find in the environment so that whenever you ask her to do something, she happily does it, expecting to get the best outcome from you. As we're building up this reinforcement history that all the best stuff comes from us, it's important to have a long line on your puppy to make sure that they can't run off and self-reward in the environment. So what I mean by that is if you go somewhere new and she runs off chasing birds and squirrels, that's what she's going to find reinforcing, and that's what she's going to continue to do whenever she gets into that environment. By keeping her on a long line, we can prevent her access to being able to go off and do that while we jackpot her for good leave-its and recalls. Until we've built up enough reinforcement history that that's the first choice she makes all the time, then as we can start to trust that she's reliably going to make that choice, we can think about fading that line as we get success. Now, puppies do go through lots of phases where they detest the rules, right? So you could have a perfect recall at 4 months, and then around 5-6 months, they start to get more independent and they start to test rules. So that's a time we really want to make sure we've got the line on them to prevent them from running off and self-rewarding in the environment. I've hidden on Mia. We're going to do an out-of-sight recall. Mia, come! Yes, good girl. All done, go play. So it's not just about food, it's also about coming out and playing fun games with your dog so that you're really fun and exciting to work with. The other important part of the equation is making sure that we back up that recall with an all done and go play so that they're learning that recall does not end the fun. So a common mistake that a lot of puppy owners make is they only use their recall when they're going to leave fun places and the dogs clue in, and they don't want to do that because that for them is a negative. So what we need to do to make sure that we prevent having that happen is anytime it is time to leave somewhere fun, you can call them and leash them, give them a treat, and then let go of the leash and let them play while they're dragging their leash for a few minutes so that they get to keep having fun. And then just pick up the leash and go without using the word come so that we're not going to make the association that recall is going to end the fun. Along the same lines, don't use recall to do anything that you don't think your puppy might like, right? So if you're trying to get your dog in the bath, or you're trying to get them to do their nails, or you're trying to get them to go across a surface that they're unsure about, anything that they seem kind of nervous about, that's a time not to use the word recall because you risk making a negative association with that word. So if you have to do something like that, you're better off grabbing a handful of treats and doing kibble tosses or cookie trails and encouraging them to figure out how to do it themselves without using that word come. Because we want the association with the word come to be like the music of the ice cream truck, where they come racing in to get a really special treat. It's always been something very positive. They don't even second guess it. And that's how we get a really fast recall, because the dog just comes flying in expecting a really special treat and nothing bad ever happens. Mia's headed up ahead there. I'm going to change directions so I don't know what this way cue. Mia, this way! Yay, good girl! Well done, go play. So right realistically, the reward for this way doesn't always have to be a food reward. It really is just a direction change, so it's a cue to follow. But if they race in like she did, I do like to give a food reward to encourage a really fast response like that in the future. Go, Mia. Well done. Go play.